Alright, welcome to the morning of day 3 of the 2025 Half Century of Progress show. I'm trying to get some more static display this morning. I got a lot I want to try to do or video today. I don't know if I'm going to manage it. It's about impossible to see everything here and still try to have a little bit of fun myself. It's a little overwhelming trying to get video of everything like I'd like to. But this morning we're gonna get some static display. I have to be down to the shellers at 8 o'clock, 8:15, somewhere in there, because I gotta substitute in for an operator, so I'm gonna run sheller for a little bit. I'm starting to know enough people down here that I'm starting to be able to run other people's crap. So I got to do that for a little while. I'd like to get video today of cutting beans, because in all the years I've been coming down here, I have yet to see them cut beans. I mean, it's just cutting beans. It's not like super duper important, but they always end up cutting beans at a really weird time, because obviously you gotta wait for the dew to burn off, so I really can't do it during the morning demonstrations. So I'm hoping to catch that. I want to get some more videos of them shelling corn with the combine, because there's a couple track machines I want to get video of. Doesn't sound like there's horse stuff here this year. I gotta look and see. I'd like to. It doesn't. The guy that used to do the check row stuff, I guess, sold his equipment. So that may or may not be here. And then I don't know. I was talking to a guy last night. He doesn't think they have horse stuff here this year, but he wasn't 100% sure. So. And then I still got to get some video of like 5, 6, 7 bottom guys plowing. And I need to get some more video of the small tractors plowing. And I don't have to get it all done today, because I still have tomorrow. And tomorrow I won't have to worry about trying to disc, but I also want to be out here about 11 o'clock noon local time, so I'm not gonna have a full day. So we'll just have to see how things turn out, I guess. I guess I get what I get and I don't what I don't, right? I feel like I've done a bad job of getting video this year. I've been spending a lot of time talking to people, which I enjoy that. It's just I feel like I haven't been able to do a good job of getting video this year compared to last year. But let's walk over here and we'll pick up where we left off yesterday. All right, let me start off with a couple pickups. Ford 4-wheel drive 100, an International 1210. I think we've seen this one before. We got some case stuff, dealer sticker, CE Implement, Wauketa, Oklahoma. It's a cool tractor. Not exactly sure what's going on with this particular area, if it's a specific club, but they got the rainbow threw up all over the place. Ooh, we got something for the Aussies over there, but I'm not going to show it yet. Big Mo 500, so that would actually be, well, you can see it's an industrial. It's kind of got to be a rare tractor. I've never seen a Big Mo front wheel assist set up as a tractor like that. That's weird. But Motec was Moline's name for their industrial line. 1655 with an identity crisis. G1350. I didn't even know they offered a G. That's gotta be. Did they offer a G1350 with factory front wheel assist? I didn't think they did. HD 800 engine, mechanical front wheel drive. Well, that's a new one to me. I never knew that the 1350s were offered a front wheel assist. That's a high dollar tractor. $21.55 is a G1350 painted in Oliver colors. Very rare tractor. I miss having the hangar. I loved walking around in there. And it's all different now too, because last year we still at least had the pad here to load and unload on, and now we don't have that. Although I see they're actually pouring a bunch of concrete. I wonder if we get part of this back next go around. Because now loading and unloading, it's actually not bad. We unloaded all out on the runway where I got the 1955 parked. So there's a lot more room, but hunting down a telehandler out there is not nearly as handy as when everybody's unloading up here, so everything's kind of grouped together. Kind of a neat set of duals. I've seen these on a Hart Par too. Welds are broke. Almost every single one of them. But I've seen those on a Hart Par 70 too. That was a, I think that was an F and H option. I think. Got a fuel leak. Nice original 60 though. Same thing, nice original 620. Super 99 gas, that's a very rare one. I think they made less than 100 of these. I know they made less than 100, and I think it's actually like a very, very low number. But I don't know enough about my Super 99 stuff. RLR equipment, Maple Creek in Fox Valley, Saskatchewan. Cockshut 1655. .340 diesel utility is another little oddball. .350 diesel Wheatland, that's an oddball. .350 LP Wheatland, that's, we're getting into some oddball stuff. .756 Wheatland, .756 high crop. This is the oddball area apparently. And then I found out yesterday, later in the day, when we were over at the Heritage Iron Tent, you'll notice that there was a bunch of tractors with yellow foam fingers on them. Those were all serial number 1s. I couldn't figure out what the foam fingers meant. Well, that's different. K30 with a Deutz in it. Looks like it's been that way for a while. That's not a new build. That's neat. Little Fendt Farmer. Straight out of the Deutschland. I'm hoping today they have a final count on 1206s too, because there is a lot over in the 1206 area. International Scout with a Nissan diesel. Didn't know that was a thing. That's neat. But there's a lot of 12.0s over in the display area, and then there's a whole crap ton scattered around. So I'm very curious to know the final count, but it's going to be a lot. Tandem Chamberlain. I want to say this was here last time too. Basically Australia's 990. I think this is the 4300 that used to be at Farm All Land USA. I'm pretty sure, because I think his had that painted on it. Before I grew up, I was a Cub. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was his. That's a really straight one. On what is most likely still the original tires. WA-17, when John Deere killed Wagner. Also lots of IHV8s here this year. Lots of 14 and 1568s. I really wish they'd run this one in the field, because that'd be cool to see. 2520 diesel high crop, that's an oddball. 3020 gas, power front wheel assist, that's an oddball. 4020 diesel, that's nothing. 4320 power front wheel assist. A couple original John Deere dealer signs. Nothing we make anymore has like any soul to it. Like these old neon signs and stuff, they had character. Nowadays you walk up to a dealer and it's just like, yeah, this building feels dead inside. Little Hanomag again from Germany. $27.45 Massey, Verns Automotive, Clinton, Wisconsin. $751 pull type combine, made basically right across the street from the White factory in Brantford, Ontario. I bet hooking heads up on these things was kind of an interesting experience, because you're looking at everything goofy. Oh, they didn't use a feeder house chain, they used feeder beaters. Interesting. Over here, this guy, he doesn't have a channel himself. I'm thinking one of his relatives does. This is I believe all of it is a guy named Bill Burnham from over here in Illinois. He's not necessarily an IH guy. He likes collecting M&W stuff, which kind of inadvertently makes you an IH guy, because for the most part, up until like the 06s and stuff came out, Farmall built a rolling chassis, M&W made a tractor. I guess this M's pulling like 72 or 75 horse on the dyno. It's all M&W equipped. Is this a case or a TerraTrack? This is a case. 310E. That's a little newer than Dad's yet. With not an original case engine. If this is an original demonstrator, it doesn't really look like it. It doesn't mention it being an actual. Unless by serial number it was a repaint. But it doesn't look like it's original. That one's an original. And we got a dealer sticker. Eddie Cross, Bloomer, Wisconsin. Yep, 1170 Black Knight, 1 of 146. That's neat. I wonder if, is that an actual case compact or did somebody make that? Oops. I mean, it looks awful factory casey. That one's all the way from Mississippi by the sign on it. Spirit 76, 1175, 1370. I love those. Just big old tanks. Come back around there, we'll get these guys real quick. Unfortunately, there is not an Oliver feature tent this year like there is for, hold on, like there is for everything else this year, because the Oliver Club is having their summer show. The Harper Oliver Association is having their summer show up in South Dakota this same weekend, so all those guys went up that way. Just some cute little running gears. Even if you had them stretched out to a full-size box, they aren't that big. Yoder Implement, Arthur, Illinois. Can't hardly read that one. Is there one on the other side? Boss Hog. It looks like Huber and Sloan. Tussoola, T-U-S-O-O-L-A, Tussoola, Illinois. A G with a Chrysler Firepower V8 in it. I'll bet that was fun getting that drive line to work out right. Cock shut with an Allison. Nope, Continental. And I wonder what the AV1790 is, unless Continental was building Allison 1790s on contract. With a turbocharger, that's interesting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, V12 with a charger. Interesting. Now, was the Allison a 1790 or was that a 17? It was a 17 something. Would you like some turbo with your diesel? Miller Dukeman, Arthur, Illinois, original driver. It's amazing that all these pulling tractors have survived. Here's the tractor. 1992 National Farm Machinery Show. Jennings Implement, Beaumont, Illinois. Crated engine new, was shipped from factory with new G1050 and installed by Jennings Implement when he quit pulling. Don made the following changes to Misfire 1. Remove turbo, replace tricycle front end with adjustable wide front, replace pulling sheet metal with new stock sheet metal, replace front grille and bubble nose with new style cast frame and grill, and then he farmed with it. And that one's a recreation of that original tractor, apparently. We got another dealer sticker. Oh, it's only on that side. You can't read it. Farmer's Implement. And that's all I can tell you. Maybe somebody recognizes the name. Alright, we'll give a few more minutes of walking around here, and then that should leave me enough to fairly easily finish up tomorrow. Oh, I gotta go get the cat booth today too. That's another thing I gotta do. Row Crop 88 with a GMC V12 in it. We've seen this one last year. Super 55 grill. Nothing super, or is there? Is that a Super 55 rear end? It kind of sort of looks like it. I think it is. I think somebody used a Super 55 rear end. That would be a new one. Nope, they didn't. That's not a Super 55 shift pattern or top cover. I wonder what they used. Interesting. Whatever it is, it appears to be the same rear end that's in that one. And the same rear end that's in this one. What kind of rear ends are those? It's got a shifter with what appears to be a high-low. Interesting. John Deere 420 high track conversion weed burner. We've seen this tractor before. I don't believe last time he had the weed burner on it. I think that's a more recent addition. I think last time it was just the tractor. We've seen this Alice before. This has also been on, I think, Classic Tractor Fever. Alice Chalmers IU Industrial. And these cleats on it, there's a special tool. You could pull the cleat out, turn it, and it would lock in, so you had cleats on the rubber for working off-road. Off-road as much as you can with hard rubber tires. Baxter Dvorak Inc. Kogon, Iowa, I think is how you pronounce that. C-O-G-G-O-N. Kogon. And another dealer sticker. Casing or Equipment, Lincoln, Missouri. Farmall Ace or Super Ace set up for mowing Christmas trees. Eight end of the 6-cylinder Funk. Dearborn grader, 2000 industrial with a scraper pan. Overland. We will finish up. We'll finish up the Fords here real quick, and that'll get us to about 30 minutes, and that should work out just right. 'Cause the Alice booth is big. They're doing something. I think they're doing something for the 220 this year or something like that, because there's a lot of 220s. And I remember reading there was another Alice thing going on. I just can't remember for which tractor and why they were doing it. So it's another, that is a Funk, yep. Another 6-cylinder Funk with Sherman overdrive. Okay, this thing's freaking cute. Ford 900 2/3 scale. Somebody has some time in this thing. Holy crap. Looks like we got some Farmall Cub components. Maybe. Nope, that's some sort of garden tractor final drive and rear end. Somebody has some time in this little thing. My God, that's a beautiful job. Kudos to whoever built this. This thing's cute. Wonder if this is the one that was on Classic Tractor Fever not too long ago. I don't think that one had those rear tires. Ooh, those are actual Ford branded rear tires. I believe they were actually made by Firestone, because Henry Ford and Harvey Firestone were like this, but they are actually badged as a Ford tire. 832, that's an oddball size. You don't realize how small a 9N is until you're standing next to it. Like this thing is tiny. They do need to fix their toe end though, because it's all sorts of pigeon-toed. Factory aluminum hood, by the way. They only made them in 39, and they didn't make very many because they quickly found out that aluminum is not a good idea on a farm tractor. 43 War Model 2N. Guy in that Ranger there pulls up at our fair. I thought I recognized him. It's like, I know who you are. Like, I don't know who he is, I just know that he pulls up at our fair, I guess I could say. Huh. Never seen a 3-bar Ford field cultivator. Normally they're only the 2-bar. 10-286. Gold demo, apparently it's legit.
No, that's not. Wow, so you got 4 front wheels. Yeah, probably the chain rock over it.
And we'll get these trucks back here real quick and probably call her square. That'll basically leave Deere and Alice and the ATHS booth to finish up tomorrow. Chevrolet Titan Diamond T with a hammer mill mounted on it. Back when guys would come out and custom grind feed for you right on the farm. International 200. GMC Astro. All right, that gets us to about the 30-minute mark on the static display. That sets us up pretty good to finish up tomorrow. And I guess now we go get some breakfast and wait to go run the sheller. Real quick, here's an interesting one that wasn't here yesterday when we did the walkthrough. Air Logistics Corporation, Pasadena, California. Allison doesn't give me a model number, assembly number, serial number, no, engine model. TF41A10 maybe. Manufactured Rolls-Royce Limited, Derby, England. Huh. Cockshut 40 diesel. Air Force. This tractor was built for the Royal Canadian Air Force. Is one of only 2 known to exist. This one was at Chatham Air Base in New Brunswick, used for towing loads onto the tarmac. Bought on Prince Edward Island. We drove 2,800 miles round trip. TF41 Model 912. I wonder how one goes about acquiring a military jet engine. So there's that. I thought it was neat and worth getting. All sorts of stuff going on at shelling today. They're shelling and shelled corn unloading today. They gotta get, I guess nobody really got done yesterday after they got done picking, so they gotta get everything unloaded and shelled out for when they start picking today. partially tripped. That's not good. That's not good at all. Something on that 200 is not having a good day. Here's a hunk of iron for you. Like, this thing is big. And then you got a little baby. This one must be fairly fresh. It's got brand spanking new rubber that hasn't even got the tits wore off yet, and it doesn't even have the decals put on it yet. Since the moving company's out of Elkader, Iowa, I'm guessing that this is from the Earth Moving Legacy Center. I'm guessing. And they've got a 666 they're putting together right now that's even bigger than this thing.
That's okay. I'm sure you're good with it.
I mean, this, and they've had dirt in it. This bowl is freaking massive. You could have a party in there. shows, however long it's been, I'm finally gonna get to see him cut beans. Nice old cockshut 422 ground drive reel. That's why it's spinning as he's moving. I'm gonna move down the way here a little bit. So that's an International 93. It steers like a conventional combine. That's the International 91. It's basically the same machine, but it steers like a zero-turn lawnmower. Pretty good job of getting them right on the ground. Back when these canvas pull type combines were a thing, soybeans for grain was not very popular. These are more of a small grain type combine, and I've heard that canvas machines are terrible for cutting beans. I guess they don't feed for crap. Now, I've never run a canvas machine, so I can neither confirm nor deny, but that's what I've heard. Looks like we've got a Moline Uni harvester. The Minneapolis Moline Uni was the predecessor to the New Idea Uni. New Idea bought the line off of Minneapolis Moline. which is basically a 93 all grown up. And then the 203, I believe, became a 215. Don't very often see the spreader option on an all crop. Dial in. Should look familiar to some. This is Ziegler's 4210. He wanted to run my 1955 and I wanted to run this, so we swapped, and then they got us out here disking stalks, which I am kind of impressed that my disc is handling these stalks without plugging, because last time I tried it, it plugged like that. But yeah, a little change of pace. We're gonna get done out here. I'm probably gonna break everything down and see about getting the telehandler, get loaded up. So probably less field work for me anyhow. spending this entire time, Jake and I have been out here plowing or chopping stalks, going between him and I and them tractors and plows, and it does not know where to go. I kind of feel sorry for it. Well, thus ends day 3 of the Half Century Progress show. We got done there with Jake and I probably dished 40 acres of corn stalks, if not more, today. And then got a telehandler wrangled up and got this broke down and got that on a trailer, so the disc and the 19 are loaded. We'll just have to load these tomorrow before we leave and get the camper and everything broke down and blah 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 blah, get ready to leave. But that's all easy stuff. The hard part's done. So yeah, another good day. Well, today was a little bit slower on the people that recognize me from this, but yesterday, Thursday and Friday there was a lot, but today wasn't too bad. Well, I shouldn't say that. It's not a bad thing. It just today, as far as there weren't as many, so we were able to, of course, this time Thursday, Friday, I was hanging around the tractor a lot more. Today, Shelly and I were off like doing other things, so probably didn't get noticed as much because this thing's a little bit more conspicuous, but not by much. But anyhow, that's it. Probably all we need to talk about for here, so that's it for day 3.